It was a familiar sensation, the heaviness in his chest, the tight knot in his stomach, and the lingering thought that he wasn't good enough. The challenge in front of him felt unsurmountable, like all the others he had faced before. But there was something different this time. This time, he wasn't going to let those old feelings win. He paused, letting his breathing steady, and closed his eyes, listening to the calm voice in the back of his mind. You've been here before. You felt this weight, this fear of failing, and yet here you are again, standing, ready to face it. That's because deep down, you know you can bear it. It might not feel like it right now, but you have survived every setback so far. And this one will be no different. He nodded to himself, acknowledging the inner reassurance. It wasn't loud or forceful, but quiet and persistent, like a steady hand on his shoulder. Remember all those times you fell? Each one felt like the end, but somehow you got back up. Not because someone told you to, not because you had to, but because something inside you refused to stay down. That strength is still there. It's always been there. He took a deep breath, feeling his heartbeat slow just a little. The mountain of uncertainty before him hadn't gotten any smaller, but his perspective began to shift. He wasn't standing at the bottom of an impossible climb. He was standing at the beginning of a challenge he was more than capable of facing. Yes, you have failed before. Yes, you have been rejected. Those memories sting, don't they? But remember, each one taught you something. Each one shaped you into who you are right now. You learned, you have adapted, and this time you'll do the same. This time you'll rise above it, just like you always have. The voice in his head wasn't sugarcoating things. It wasn't telling him it would be easy or that he wouldn't struggle. But it was a firm, steady, a quiet reassurance in the storm of doubt. He exhaled slowly, eyes still closed, and reminded himself of one simple truth. You are more than your past. You are more than your failures. They don't define you. What defines you is the fact that every time you've been knocked down, you've stood up again. That's what makes you resilient. That's what makes you capable. He opened his eyes, staring at the task ahead. It loomed large and intimidating, but something in him had shifted. The nervousness was still there, but it was accompanied by something stronger now, a sense of purpose, a quiet determination. Setbacks will come again. You know that. You can control that. But what you can control is how you respond. Each time you fall, you have a choice. Will you stay down, defeated, or will you rise, bold and unshaken, knowing that these too will pass? You made that choice before and you will make it again, and each time you grow stronger. He could feel the weight of his previous failures pressing down on him like a lead blanket. But the voice in his mind was calm and clear, pushing back against the darkness. You are not defined by what happened yesterday. You are defined by what you do today. In this moment, the past is gone. Yes, it shaped you, but it doesn't have to dictate your future. Right now, in this moment, you are capable of anything. Do you feel that? That flicker of belief? That flame of possibility? Hold on to it. It's real. And it's yours. He straightened his posture, the tension in his shoulders easing just slightly. The fear hadn't disappeared, but it no longer felt like it was suffocating him. There was a space now, space for hope, for courage. Even if you fail again, Even if things don't go the way you want them to go, you'll survive it. And then you'll stand up once more. Each time you fall, each time you struggle, you become a little more resilient, a little more decisive, a little more bold. That's your power. You don't quit, you don't give up, you keep rising again and again until eventually you transcend the challenge. The voice grew quieter but more resolute, echoing in the corners of his mind. This challenge is not here to break you. It's here to show you what you're made of. It's here to reveal the strength you didn't know you had. So don't fear it. Embrace it. He took one last deep breath, allowing the words to settle into the core of his being. He wasn't the same person who had faced failure in the past. He was stronger now, more prepared. He had learned, adapted, and grown. You got this. You are bold, you are resilient, and no matter what happens, you will rise again and again. With that, he opened his eyes fully, set his sights on the task ahead, and stepped forward, carrying with him the unwavering belief that this, too, was something he could transcend.